the best of weeks for Rotherham, of course, as they dropped a couple of points, of course, to open up the door for the likes of Wigan and the chasing pack, and maybe even MK Dons. But what about Sunderland? They're out of the playoffs. We'll take a look at it, all of it, next. Today we're looking at Brucey bonus weekend or week. That's right, a bit of a catch-up week for all the COVID postponements, weather, all that kind of stuff, squished into one week as we try to clean up the season. We'll take a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They're the patrons, guys. Thank you for your love and, of course, behind the scenes. Of course, I really appreciate it. And check out their links down below. So here we go. Yes, it is a bit of a catch-up week. That's right, looking back first and foremost in a monster week. There we go. Not the greatest week for Rotherham as they had a clanger indeed. So let's get into the deep end. Of course, Shrewsbury picked up a draw against Rotherham. Of course, 0-0 in the end. Meanwhile, Pompey with a 3-2 win over Oxford. Good discretion, good win for them. Right back in the thick of things, of course. And Hayden Carter. Is this the one he scored a zinger? He did. Sheffield Wednesday 5-2 win over Bolton. A lot of goals in that game. 7 goals in that badger. Meanwhile, Wycombe Wanderers with a 3-0 win over Cambridge. Back in the thick of things. Fleetwood did lose on the road to Wigan. Cambridge, of course, in the weekend picked up a 0-0 draw against Shrewsbury. I went with a 1-1 draw on that one. Charlton with a 0-0 draw against Sunderland. Massive point that for Charlton. Of course, Sunderland just really are having a right old nightmare, aren't they? Cheltenham with a 4-0 win over Doncaster. Crewe with a 3-1 loss to Wycombe. Gillingham, of course, losing at home to Bolton Wanderers. Fleetwood also losing at home to Ipswich Town. Lincoln City, 3-1 winners over Sheffield Wednesday. Big win for them. Of course, Oxford United, back-to-back wins there. 4-1 win over Burton. Of course, Plymouth Argyle with a 2-0 win over Morecambe. Called it, lads. And, of course, Pompey down to 10 men, but, of course, winning 4-0 in the end. Rotherham, though, losing at home to MK Dons, and Wigan doing the just desserts with a 1-0 win over Wimbledon. Wow. Let's take a look at the table. Let me just make sure that's right. Yes, it is right. Of course, as you see, Rotherham are 4 points clear of Wigan, but Wigan have got 2 games in hand, so technically it could be just a matter of time before Wigan go back top of the pops there. With, of course, MK Dons breathing down the necks as well. Oxford up to 4th, Wycombe into 5th, and Wednesday remaining in 6th. There is 1 point cushion between Wednesday and Sunderland at the moment. Of course, Plymouth have 2 games in hand to maybe even make it a little bit more worse. But then Pompey also got a couple of games in hand to close in on them as well. Down the foot, Crewe looked like toast. Doncaster also going to be joining them, Gillingham and Morecambe at the moment. But of course, it could all change. Remember, Derek Adams is back. Morecambe, can he save them? I don't know. This is, of course, the Pickaroos for this week. Take up, bloody about even a say 13 points, of course, 37 also 13 points. And Daddy Cool up there in bronze with Karl McGuckian with 12 there. Well done to you guys. Of course, kicking ass and taking names. This is, of course, the mini leaderboard. 37 with 74 points. Well done to you. Deep Out the Great and Shane O'Donnell make up their power trio. That's right. Trio. That's right. Kicking ass and taking names. And a big shout out to the patrons, of course, who I love so much. You wouldn't believe how much love I love from my patrons. Of course, Cutley / League One, if you want to get amongst it, of course, and use the QR code if you're a savvy little bastard like me. Of course, kicking off forward, it is a Brucey bonus. Not much games, there's 6 of them. We're going to take a look at them because they all mean something up and down the table. So let's get into the deep end. Of course, take a look at Bolton. They're going to be taking on Morecambe in a bit of a Northwest crunch clash here. Of course, taking place on Tuesday, the 8th of March. Of course, played each other 6 times in 2012. 2 wins for Bolton, 1 win for Morecambe, and 3 draws. Of course, Bolton winning 4 of the last 6, 67% form. Up against, of course, Morecambe side, who haven't won in the last 8 games. Good discretion me. 25% form for them right now. Coming at you, though, last time around over in Morecambe. In Bolton. It was a 1-1 draw back in February 2021. It was in Bolton. It was, of course, last season. And, of course, 1-1 it was. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture in Morecambe this season back in, of course, a couple of weeks ago, actually, on the 2nd or the 5th of Feb. It was a 1-1 draw as well. Kicking on forward, though, Bolton coming to this on the back of a 3-0 win over Gillingham. And, of course, Morecambe did lose to Plymouth on the road. Look at the odds here. 7-4 is your Bolton. Of course, 31-10 is your draw. And 92 is your away win. That is Morecambe on this one. Going to go with a 2-0 win for the hosts here. Unfortunately, Derek Adams, it might be too late for you to come back to save this season. Kicking it forward, MK Dons taking on Cheltenham, of course, over that Stadium MK. Good a couple of days it's been for MK Dons. Played each other seven times since 2008. 5 wins for MK Dons, of course, 1 win for Cheltenham and 1 draw. MK Dons winning 4 in the spin right now. 83% form up against the Cheltenham side who've just lost once in the past 6. 67% form for them right now. Of course, coming at you last time around in MK Dons. It was a 3-0 win. That was back in October 2018. That was in League 2. The reverse fixture, though, in Cheltenham this season, back in September, it was a 1-1 draw as well. Kicking off forward, though, Milton Keynes with a 2-1 win over Rotherham. That, of course, was after a 2-0 win over Bolton. Kicking on forward, though, Cheltenham with a 4-0 win over Doncaster last round, so they'll fancy their chances, I'm sure, on this one. Kicking on forward, though, the odds 6-4 on this year, of course. MK Dons 14-5 is draw, and 4-1 is your away win. That is Cheltenham on this. Going to go with a 2-1 win for the hosts here, and again, closing on top two, yes, indeedio. Kicking on forward, Sunderland taking on some Fleetwood Town. That's right, of course. It's not really worked so far, has it? Alex Neil up against Fleetwood Town's Stephen Craney, of course. Played each other 8 times in 2018, 1 for Sunderland, 2 for Fleetwood, and 5 draws. Just 1 win, though, in the past 6 for Sunderland right now. 42% form up against the Fleetwood side, who haven't won in the last 9 games. Of course, 25% form for them right now, losing 3 of the last 4 as well. Last time around, though, at the Stadium of Light, it was a 2-0 win for Sunderland. That's back in February 2021. The reverse fixture, though, in Fleetwood, back in, of course, September, was a 2-2 draw for both sides, of course. Sunderland with a 0-0 draw against Charlton, and conceded a goal, though, in back-to-back games. Meanwhile, Fleetwood, though, haven't scored in back-to-back games as well, of course, losing to Wigan and Ipswich in quick succession. The odds here, 7-4 on is your course, your Sunderland, 31-10 is your draw, and 92 is your away win. That's Fleetwood Bloody Town. I'm going to go with a win for the Sunderland here. Of course, close in, maybe make a real concerted push for the playoffs as well. So 1-0 win for Sunderland, that should move them into the top 6, depending on what goes on elsewhere. Kicking off, we do have Ipswich Town up against Lincoln City. That's right. Of course, taking place at Portman Road. Now, these two sides have played each other 9 times in 2017, 3 wins apiece and 3 draws. Of course, Ipswich, though, coming to 75% form, haven't lost in the last 7 home games. Of course, unbeaten in the last 6, both home and away. 75% form for them, winning 3 and losing 3 in the last 6. Kicking off, although Lincoln City, just 1 win and 5 for them, 42% form for them right now. Of course, looking at the last time around, the last time played each other in Ipswich, it was a draw. That was back in March 2021, around about this time last season, of course. And of course, Lincoln did lose the reverse fixture in Lincoln back in September. Lincoln, though, coming into something like a 3-1 win over Sheffield Wednesday. Ipswich was a 2-0 win over Fleetwood Town. Both, well, Ipswich Town are definitely in the mix for, of course, playoffs, but of course, Lincoln trying to get themselves well clear of any relegation scrap as well. The odds here, what do we got? We have 11-8 on as your Ipswich, 14-5 for short, and 7-2 is your away win. That is, of course, Fleetwood Town. And back in, of course, the home side here, 2-0 win for Ipswich to take it to the house into the final 2 for the midweek. And it's Plymouth. They were taking on Wimbledon. Of course, Plymouth also in and around that playoff region, of course, would like to get themselves there. 20 times they played just as 2011. 8 wins for Plymouth, 7 wins for Wimbledon, and 5 draws, of course. Plymouth winning 4 of the last 6, 67% form up against the Wimbledon side, who are in trouble. Haven't won the last 17 games. I think they're going to go down, unfortunately. Kicking off, although last time around at Plymouth, it was a 1-0 win for Plymouth. That's back in April 2021. The reverse fixture, though, in Wimbledon was a 1-0 win for Plymouth as well. It was a 4-4 not too long ago between these two sides. So it's quite, Wimbledon haven't won the last 3 against Plymouth heading into this one. Plymouth, though, with a 2-0 win over Morecambe, and of course Wimbledon losing to Wigan narrowly 1-0 last round. The odds on this one, Plymouth are 5-4 for the victory, 5-2 is your draw, and 7-2 is your away win. That is Wimbledon on this one. Of course, going to go with a 1-0 win for Plymouth on this one again. Keep the wins going. Of course, maybe they'll be in the playoffs at the end of the season. And then finally, it is Crewe, it is Portsmouth, it is over at Gresty Road. Now, these two sides will take place, of course, on the 8th of March as well. 17 times they've played each other since 1997, 7 wins apiece and 3 draws, of course. Crewe, though, just one win in the last 6 for them, 17% form up against the Crewe side, who haven't lost in the last 6. Sorry, up against a Pompey side, who haven't lost in the last 6. But get 5 wins and 1 draw, 92% form. They are probably one of the form teams, if not the form team in the division at the moment. Of course, kicking on forward, though, last time out in Crewe, it was a 0-0 draw. The reverse fixture at Fratton Park, back in, of course, match number 2 was a 2-0 win for Pompey as well. Pompey unbeaten against Crewe in the last 3 occasions, of course, just conceded the 1 goal against them as well. Crewe with a 3-1 loss against Wickham on their books, and of course, Pompey with a 4-0 win over Accrington Stanley. Of course, the odds on this one, though, Crewe are 10-3 for the victory, 5-2 is your, and 6-5 on is your away win. That is Pompey on this. I'm back into Pompey on this one, surely. 2-0 win for them. That's right. And of course, it will be right in the thick of things. Where are they in the table? Of course, Pompey, of course, closing in on it. They are a 10th win for them. They've got a bit of work to do. They can do it. They definitely can do it. Bolton can do it. I'd say Bolton and up. 11th place. Bolton and up are in the hunt for playoffs, and the rest are not. And I'd say down the bottom, Crewe, Doncaster, Gillingham, Morecambe definitely in the relegation spots. But I'd say Shrewsbury, I think Lincoln are just still in it at the moment. Fleetwood are in it, and Wimbledon are in it as well. So yeah, I think if you're Lincoln all the way up to Accrington Stanley, I think you guys are pretty much settled for League One. I don't think you're either going to go down or going to go up. So you could probably make your plans already for next season. But that is it, guys. Be sure to give the video some love, and of course check out the link over here, Cut4 League One, and get amongst it, of course, course, is a mini bonus week. Of course, we'll be back for the full fixture list for the weekend, probably midweek, maybe Wednesday. So make sure you come back for that. But of course, until then, if you are interested in joining the channel as a pundit, as a commentator, as a predictor, as a something, let me know down below. I'm trying to get my shit in order for next season, big season next season, both here domestically in the leagues and of course the World Cup and all that kind of stuff. I really want to kick off what I could do with some help, of course, especially with content like this. So make sure you get involved. League One, whatever it is. Better still, follow me on Twitter, direct message me, just say, hey, I want to make some content with you. Of course, we get talking about it. Until then, guys, that's it. Smash the thumbs up, smash the subscribe. See you soon for the next one. Of course, we're done for now.